Welcome to the Brain Bank Listen and Learn series. I'm Michelle Paulina. Today we're talking to Don Cattoni, Product Manager for Shatter-Shield. Thanks for being with us, Don.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for having me.
Why is anybody concerned with breaking fluorescent lamps? Or maybe a better question is, are these really for specific applications?
Well, Michelle, there's various reasons for concern with breaking fluorescent lamps. I think the main reason is fluorescent lamps are made from non-tempered glass, and if broken, this can result in many small pieces of glass spread over a wide area. Another reason is that the fluorescent lamps contain hazardous and toxic mercury. Shatter-resistant lamps are used in many industries such as food processing, food service, retail, industrial, libraries, and museums. In the food industry, the government has regulations that require protective lighting to ensure that the broken glass from the lamps doesn't come in contact with the food equipment, or food packaging.
Several years ago, the problem was solved with tube guards. Why isn't that still the answer?
Well, about 40 years ago, tube guards were the only option to contain glass if a fluorescent lamp was to break. There haven't been any significant changes in the tube guards since their introduction. And the problem with this is that there are multiple parts and there's assembly required when using the tube guards. The parts consist of, there's the main tube that slides over the lamp, and there's two end caps that have to get pressed on. These end caps can reduce the length of the pins at the end of the lamps when they're applied, which makes it a lot more difficult to install. We at Shatter-Shield saw this as an opportunity to develop a far superior solution. In fact, Michelle, we were the first to actually introduce the safety code lamp, which started this protective lighting industry. With our lamps, there aren't any parts or assembly required. You simply install a lamp right out of the box. As I'd mentioned, Shatter-Shield is the original manufacturer, and we believe it is the most reliable shatterproof lamps. And over the years, we've continued to make improvements with all of our coatings, to be the best on the market. As you know, Michelle, there are a lot of different applications for these protective lamps, as I had mentioned earlier, and we've developed a variety of coatings to meet the specific protection needs for all of these different applications.
It appears that both OSHA and NEMA have published warnings on the use of tube guards. Can you talk about this?
Sure. OSHA has published a warning in a hazard information bulletin which states that using fluorescent bulbs with tube guards may cause a fire. This is because of the reduced pin length I spoke about earlier and the lamp not being properly seated into the sockets of the fixture. A NEMA article states that it is vital to install the end caps on the tube guards properly. Otherwise, this is an area that can be added for potential problems. Michelle, one of the things that customers need to be aware of is that not all the tube guards are made the same. They can have manufacturing tolerances. Some are made shorter, some are made longer, which could affect on how they fit into the fixture. Another issue with tube guards is that they're made from polycarbonate, which has a lower melt temperature and can deform the tube. This is a problem because the lamp ends have higher levels of heat buildup, which is transmitted through the fluorescent lamp at the end of its life, and this can distort and discolor the tube guard. Michelle, I'd also like to stress that standard tube guards should never be used on high-output lamps. They're just not capable of handling or safely handling the increased heat.
Some common themes you hear about these days are labor savings, longevity, total cost of ownership, safety. Can you talk about the importance of these?
Okay. You're absolutely right, Michelle. All these factors play an important role in making the right decision when selecting a shatter-resistant solution. We believe that the safety is the utmost importance. It is imperative that the coating contains virtually all of the glass particles and the toxic material if the lamp accidentally breaks. Shatter-Shield coatings do just that. In comparison with either assembling, installing, or relamping with tube guards, there's a chance that the end caps can come loose and fall off, and the uncoated lamp slides out and breaks into thousands of pieces and exposes the toxic mercury that's inside the lamp. Shatter-Shield lamps don't have any of these parts to pop off, degrade, or crack. And think about it, 80% of accidents happen during lamp installation or removal. Would you want to make that risk with breaking a lamp? I don't think so. A good point you asked about was the total cost of ownership. With tube guards, there are multiple parts that need to be inventoried. You need additional time to assemble it, and it usually takes 2 people to install an 8-foot lamp with a tube guard. As I said earlier, if the lamp accidentally falls out of the tube guard, the cleanup would be costly and labor-intensive. A facility could even be shut down for days while the cleanup takes place. Another major safety concern is that installers often reuse existing end caps and sleeves. The problem with this is that the parts have become brittle over time and can possibly have cracks to them. Even if the tube guard and the end caps look fine at the time of the relamping, the plastics have been degraded by the exposed ultraviolet light from the lamp. This creates a potential situation for the tube guard to fail and safety and fire hazards.
I also read that Shatter-Shield coated lamps are skin tight and don't allow for air gaps or other impediments to shorten lamp life.
With tube guards, there's a visible air gap between the lamp and the sleeve. The tube guard obviously has to be larger than the lamp to slide over it during assembly, which creates this gap. This gap traps heat, increasing the lamp operating temperature, which shortens the lamp life and the lumen output. And there have been many test results that confirm that when lamps burn hotter, the lamp life is going to be reduced. Dust and other materials can enter into this air gap and also create a pocket for airborne contaminants, and it's not something anybody wants to breathe in or come in contact with their food. And all of the Shatter-Shield coatings are skin tight and are bonded to the lamp, which completely eliminates all of these air gaps.
When using tube guards, another issue is lamp cleanup. This isn't a simple procedure anymore, is it?
No, it definitely is not. When a lamp breaks, broken glass and other lamp elements can contaminate a large area. This is especially an issue for the toxic mercury that is contained within the lamp. Tube guard failures create great risk to customers, employees, equipment, and the businesses. If this accident were to happen, special procedures need to be taken to properly clean up the affected area. And if the cleanup procedures are followed correctly, which they should be done that way, it is very detailed and requires quite a bit of resources and downtime to clean it up.
Don, is there anything I've missed or anything that you'd like to reemphasize?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, tube guards are susceptible to cracking, but they can also discolor and turn yellowish and even brown in certain cases. Shatter-Shield coatings have the best warranty in the business and are guaranteed not to yellow, crack, or fail for the rated life of the lamp. This is extremely important when relamping. So in summary, here's the facts of why you should use a Shatter-Shield safety-coated lamp in place of a tube guard. All the Shatter-Shield safety-coated lamps have a skin-tight coating. There's no parts to fail. They are much easier to install and the total cost of ownership is lower. Our coatings will not yellow, crack, or melt. We have the absolute best warranty in the industry, and simply put, Shatter-Shield coated lamps are much safer and more reliable than tube guards. One more important comment that I'd like to make, Michelle, is that all coated lamps are not created alike. What I mean by this is Shatter-Shield lamps have a bright orange band at the end of each tube to help customers identify it as a Shatter-Shield coated lamp. Safety and facility inspectors look for the familiar orange band to ensure safety compliance because they know that Shatter-Shield is the best in the industry.
Don, where can our viewers go to get more information on this subject?
They can visit our website at www.Shatter-Shield.com, or they can call our sales support team at 1-800-223-0853.
This is great information. Hopefully our viewers found this helpful, and we appreciate you being with us.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle, for the opportunity to discuss the differences that and advantages Shatter-Shield's protected lamps have over tube guards.
And thank you for joining us for today's Brain Bank Listen and Learn series. We'll see you next time.